wanted to take this time to say a rest in peace to Andre Harrell, um, Uptown Records. Very important in the R&B hip hop world. You know, if you go back in the early days with Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and then if you remember, Andre Harrell had a little bit role with Russell Simmons in Crush Groove, and then he found Uptown Records, which was more urban street vibe. Took a chance on then unknown Teddy Riley with New Jack Swing, and then of course later on with Jodeci and Mary J. Blige, and then there was a mail room employee named Sean Puffy Combs who had visions and concepts of his own, and then of course, as you know, the rest. But Andre Harrell meant a great deal to the landscape of the music and the fashion and the style and the creation. He was like an R&B offshoot of what Russell Simmons was doing with Def Jam and also with the Fat Farm, etc. But he was also a conceptualist, and then of course, if you saw the movie Strictly Business, Andre Harrell had his enterprises in various aspects. There was a time that R&B and hip hop world and music was seen as like people would laugh and they didn't even find it viable. I know you may not think about it, but if you go back as little as 30 years ago, early 90s, there was some people that didn't want to touch it. Some were black, some didn't, and they were like, we don't know about this. And then the worlds really merged. And Andre Harrell was responsible for a lot of that to take place and to jump forth as an executive and what he was able to do and what he was able to push. And of course, when you see people having careers, i.e. a Teddy Riley, i.e. a Mary J. Blige, Puffy Combs, Andre Harrell, blueprint on that. And it's very important to always remember the impact and why it's felt the way it was by his loss because of what he represented. Because he was one of the few to see the future, what could happen. You know, if you look at Andre Harrell from the standpoint of what he was doing behind the scenes, he was almost like, I'm not gonna put him in the same category because it was different, but it's almost like a Don Cornelius Soul Train of selling the music in a modernized way, if you will, in a concept of like, hey, we can bridge these worlds, but we can still keep it black and edgy and do this. Because if you pay attention, all the acts were young black, and it was kind of like his sort of like take on Motown, but with a more up to date thing and vibe. And he was always like on the pulse of what was happening, uh, Black America at that time, as far as especially from the entertainment and the sports world. He had outlined people that represented, and he was accurate with what he said. So it's a sad loss that he was only 59 and what he represented. But Andre Harrell definitely was a big impact on a lot of people's lives and the music and artists that got heard. So we'll take a rest in peace. Hit that like and subscribe and the bell rings a new video. Wash your hands, keep your mind clear, watch out for one another. And it's always important to notice the people, but in front of and behind the scenes, because you just never know who's going to impact who and what. So prayers and thoughts go out to his fans, friends, and family worldwide. Peace. Rest in peace, Andre Harrell.